Yo, what's going on, my people? Welcome back to another episode of Culture and Caves. I'm AK.
And I'm Drizz.
And on today's episode, we're diving deep into the cave side of the world. Basically, what's affecting us as human beings, what's causing harm to other people. Today, we're not focusing on the culture side, but rather than focusing on what is actually impacting us as people. And this episode is going to be in two parts. So the first part, we're going to talk about what's happening in Sudan, what's happening in Gaza. And on the second part, we're going to talk about
the United Kingdom rally. We're going to talk about Charlie Kirk incident. And then we're going to talk about the death in Dubai, which is a BBC African documentary.
Which is interesting, by the way. So before we continue this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and share. We will really, really appreciate it if you can give us a little bit of a like, comment, and share. Subscribe, obviously, and share with your friends. That will be muchly appreciated. And if you got anything to say to us or anything to suggest, you're more than welcome to help us.
Yeah, that will help us grow.
Really. Yeah, 100%. So. Yeah. Okay, so now let's dive deep into it. The first one, I want to talk about what's happening in Sudan. Because there's two forces that are involved. What are they called?
It's the Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Group forces.
And when did the war start?
I believe it started mid-April 2023.
2023.
Yeah.
So that's like over 500 days of non-stop war.
Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy. So today we're just gonna cover the basic what's happening in Sudan and what we think as human beings and what is actually happening, because it is pretty sad. So my understanding is that these two forces, they started war in 2023. But if we look into it, these people, this thing has been brewing up for years.
Yeah.
Because these two groups, they used to be allies. Yeah. They used to be one, but then obviously with anything that has gold, money, and all other things, there's always going to be tension, there's always going to be mistrust, and there's always going to be one guy that wants to be the head, that wants to be the top of it. But what's actually sad is the civilians are the ones that are actually paying the price.
Yep.
Because over 10 million people have lost their homes, they're all displaced because of this ongoing war, and tens of thousands of people, they've lost their lives.
Yeah.
And a lot of women and kids, they've been raped, a lot of people been abducted. But what I want to understand is, what is your perspective and what are your thoughts on this war in Sudan? How does it make you feel as a person, like when you look into it, when you read into it and you see all these posts about this war? What comes into your mind? Like, what do you think?
First thing that comes to my mind, if I'm brutally honest, is stupidity. You know, because they were aligned, then separated, but that separation, why is it that because they've separated, why is it that the people have to suffer? You know, the civilians, why do they have to suffer the consequences of that? You know, when it can easily be resolved, you know, with conversations, with deals, peace talk, you know, making deals, you know, correcting what needs to be corrected instead of just going straight blam 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 and shooting up everybody. You know, I don't think that's right. And you know, children suffering, another, you know, men's consequences. You know what I mean? It's not right in my sort of take.
Yeah, it is pretty sad because the people that are actually the ones that are starting these wars, they're never held accountable.
No.
And I feel like these government systems, like in Sudan, they failed because in the last, I don't know how many years, there's been 22 coups, you know, and I feel like in Africa, these coups are becoming a norm now.
Oh yeah.
There is no fair elections.
Nah.
There's like coups, and as African people, we are celebrating these coups.
Yeah.
Whereas we should be fighting for fair elections.
Yeah.
And some of these coup elections and military takeover actually the ones that are causing these wars in Africa, wars in Sudan, because that's what happened. There was Sudan. Let's not forget that Sudan was just one big country, and now there's South Sudan and there's Sudan. Now there's two countries, but the one that's now really affected the most, that's in war, in this civil war, is Sudan, and the civilians are paying the price. United Nations, they've actually said this is the worst humanitarian crisis ever, which is pretty sad because, like I was saying, tens of thousands of people have died. All for what?
For nothing.
Just these two groups that are fighting for economic control, whatever, like control the gold and gold mines and stuff. And I feel like African Union doesn't really do much job, because they should be interfering, like trying to stop this war or pressuring these two groups for a peace deal. But that is not happening. And women are getting raped. Why are women getting raped for these things?
It's a horrible thing, man.
It is a horrible situation, man. A lot of things needs to change in Africa, because it's not just Sudan. It's happening in Congo. It's happening in Mali. All these other countries. And the worst is actually benefiting from some of these wars. Because they're getting something. They're getting gold, and they're providing the weapons to these guys. The more they fight, the more they get gold.
Man,
UAE is getting gold from these guys, and they're providing weapons.
That's crazy.
Turkey is providing weapons.
And are these people held accountable?
No. No one is holding anyone accountable.
It's crazy.
And these leaders of these armies and stuff, they're just not paying the price at all. They're not held accountable. They need to be sanctioned. And I feel like this is another thing. You know, these sanctions by the US, they've become a laughing matter. They've become a laughing stock, because they're not doing any real effect. Because what they're doing is they're only doing it to an individual, not the whole organization. If you're going to sanction one person, someone else is going to rise. Because you're not sanctioning the whole thing. You're not sanctioning the whole movement.
It's crazy.
And now USA, they've cut this aid in Africa, this USAID or whatever it's called. And now in Sudan, a lot of people are dying of hunger because they can't get food. There's no clean water. There's just nothing. There's no hospital. There's no healthcare. They're dying of cholera. There's no medicine. All these trucks trying to deliver these medicines, food to these people, they can't even get there.
And a lot of people are just not understanding. And a lot of people don't even know about this. They don't even know what this is going on, you know. And right now, the world is just... There's so many things going on that they're distracting people. And
it's hard to keep up.
It's a lot of things going on. And this is what's going on in Sudan and all over, you know, these countries. People are suffering for no reason. And some people are just enjoying life, not knowing what is going on. You know, it's crazy to me. It baffles my head.
What do you think should be done to stop this war? Do you think there's a solution?
I think solution would be peacemaking. I think they somehow have to come to an agreement, you know. I mean, ceasing fire has already failed. So that's the solution that came to my mind, like ceasefire. But I realize now with these wars, ceasefire, it doesn't even work, you know. I don't know if it's actually being called or it's just the media lying to us, you know, just to make us try and make people feel some type of way, some type of ease. But like we've seen, ceasefires failed many times, and I don't know how they're gonna get to the peacemaking part, but somehow someone has to be held accountable. And these resources, like you're saying, coming from Turkey and all that, that has to be cut out, because I feel like Turkey is using that to control, the Sudanese problems.
Yeah, because the more the war is going on, the more they're getting something from it.
Benefits.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because apparently almost 90% of the Sudanese gold that leaves the country is sold illegal. Like almost 90%.
Crazy. That is crazy.
And who's benefiting in Sudan? These armies, these militias, they're getting this money, they're getting the weapons. And these countries like UAE, Turkey, all these, even the worst countries, what they do is they will say to you, okay, give us your minerals, we'll give you guns, we'll give you protection. But those guns are killing innocent people.
Yep.
Just like a few days ago, a mosque was bombed, 70 people died. They've got nothing to do with the war. But why are the humans that are innocent suffering from other people's sins?
It's crazy. I think that's the price of war.
Yeah.
Price of war. It leads to children suffering. It leads to many civilians suffering. Losing their lives. And I don't know when it's gonna get to the point where the government, these leaders, which the Sudanese army, I believe, is led by General Abdel Fattah, and then I think Burhan or something like that. So it's like, I hope they come to some sort of common sense that this is your country. It's like destroying your own home, right? And thinking nothing, like the people that live in your home won't be damaged, won't suffer consequences. And it's crazy to me, it baffles my head. And if they start looking in that way, where they can see that this is affecting our people, and people outside the world will just be laughing, and they're just being pawns, they're being used. And if they come to a realization that people the outsiders, they don't really, the ones that provide these weapons, they don't really care.
They don't care.
They don't, because they know the strategy. They've planned it. For them, it's just a matter of time. So they just have to wake up and realize, why am I like this in my own home? Treat that place with respect. If they start doing that and actually start uplifting each other, I think they'll do well. And if they come to some sort of peace, they will turn that country into a beautiful place. Like you said, they got gold. So what would stop them?
Yeah. In my own opinion, I think it's going to be difficult for them to come to an agreement. Even at the moment, it's a little bit quiet. There's not a lot of fight engaging going on. They're just bombing the civilians and stuff. But themselves, they're not really into it like neck and neck at the moment. But I feel like there's going to be a time where the other one is going to do something that the other one doesn't like, and they're going to be back at it, because they know that, listen, these other countries, they don't care about us.
Yeah.
Because they've also got their allies that are pushing them to continue this war.
Yeah.
Because if the other one gets the power, then some allies will benefit from it.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no win-win in this situation. And in terms of like healthcare, if they manage to come to peace, have like a peace agreement, that's going to take a long time to restore, because the healthcare has collapsed. The water resources has gone bust.
Yeah.
So that's going to take a lot of time. So I think some of these countries that are supplying these guns and military grade stuff, they need to just stop.
Yeah.
And just stop like supplying, because obviously now it was a rainy season over there, and these armies, they've just been using drones, and they're just sitting relaxing. They're not even engaging in each other. They're just sending drones. But then now it's going to be dry season.
Yeah.
Both armies are going to be showing off their weapons, what they bought during the rainy season, because no one knew.
Yeah.
So now, come sunshine, guns going to be blazing, machine guns, all these things, tanks.
Yeah.
But what's actually annoying me is that the Sudanese armed forces, the stuff that they're using, the planes, the tanks that they're using, is old stuff, it's ancient stuff. So how are they going to win against these other people if they're using stuff from the World War II?
Mathematics is off, man. It's off.
So it's just, it's all power, man. It's all power, but...
and, you know, the fact that you mentioned, if these other countries stop supplying them, I don't think these other countries are going to stop supplying, because I feel like that's up to the Sudanese people.
They've got no power now, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pawns. That's what's happened. And the game is gone.
The game is gone. They've got no power to even meet the other side and have a good talk about peace and have like something good for the country. So it is difficult, but what I'm thinking is, if we can leave this to our viewers to tell us what they think about the ongoing war, and obviously share your thoughts, because what's happening over there, it is pretty sad. Like I was saying, kids are not going to school, women are getting raped, a lot of people are dying, people can't even go back to their homes. They don't even know their homes anymore because they don't exist. Everything has just disappeared because of all this stupid war that's going on, and these people are just not paying the price. They're not being held accountable. And these sanctions are a joke. These US sanctions are just useless, because if they're sanctioned by the US, some of these countries are going to deal with them. So it's like, what's the point of, like, they were probably not even going to deal with the US anyway.
It's crazy.
So it's just, it is difficult, but I pray that someday they can come to peace. They can come to the realization that, listen, we are one. Obviously, there's like different ethnic group, and this is also contributing to the war. That there's like this ethnicity cleansing, which is pretty sad, because some of these people are just good people. These people should just be able to live together, even if we're different ethnicity, different background, different ideology. We should be able to all uplift each other and live under the same city or whatever. But these leaders, they need to be really, really locked up or do something. Even the international whatever court of justice, they need to step in and do something. And you know, this court of justice, whatever, international court of justice, ICT, whatever, ICJ, since it's been formed, you know, most criminals that have been arrested, do you know where they come from? Africa. But there's other people all over the world that are committing these crimes, but they're not paid the price, but it's usually the Africans. But in this moment, they should just step in and arrest these people, lock them up. But we want to hear your thoughts on this topic. If you got anything to say, or if you think we've missed something, so please leave a comment
feedback.
And just a feedback. We would really, really appreciate that. Now then, let's talk about Gaza. Another one.
Similar
in a way. Because again, people are losing life. Thousands of people are losing life, and Israel is committing genocide.
I don't know what this world is turning into, honestly, but
the playground.
It's a playground. It is. My question is, when is Jesus Christ coming back?
I don't know.
God, man.
But it's taking too long now.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Should we get into it then?
Just get into it, bro. So, Israel, what do you want to talk about, especially with this Gaza thing? What's on your mind? What do you think about this whole Gaza-Israel thing, Palestine-Israel stuff?
There's a lot of genocide going on.
Yeah, Israel is committing genocide, man.
Yeah.
And they've got the backing of the US, obviously.
Yeah, and seems now Palestine is no more. You know, it's a state now, you know, which that's how a lot of countries well, not a lot, but a lot of countries are starting to see it as a state.
Yeah, because even United Nations, they've even said that Israel is committing genocide. There's like just no need for all these bombing school, hospital, and just. Oh, have you seen some of the videos of these kids in Gaza? Just no food. I've seen some guy like saying, "Oh, this is what we're eating the whole day." It was just like a piece of bread.
You know, stuff like that. It makes you cry, but that's personally for me, because when I think about it, I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen TikToks, people going live on TikTok, and you could see them. They got missing legs, missing arms. And they're literally saying, please, 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 anything will help me out, right? And man, it's sad because you have some people that actually want to help, and then you got the majority of people that just want to laugh, you know? And it's like...
Some people think it's a joke.
And it's like with the the Palestine movement, like Free Palestine, and all these sides going on, and people just, the way it was going on about it, man, it's not right, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, it makes me emotional, you know, talking about it, because I can actually picture in my head, you know, seeing all these kids suffering from this, seeing all these women and men, you know, civilians overall suffering from these acts that are committed by people who want to be in power, by people who want to take lands, claim countries. It's
that guy Netanyahu, he's just man. Because he said on the record that he will wipe out the Gaza Strip. He's just like gonna get rid of it and just make it Israel.
You see what I'm saying? Get rid of it.
And it's like ethnic cleansing. Yeah.
And it's like the people that live in those places don't even matter. It's like something you can copy and paste or copy and delete. And there's no respect. There's no good sense of thinking, you know. There's no empathy. It's just think.
He only cares about himself, Netanyahu, because like I was saying, he wants to achieve this goal of his in his lifetime to just get rid of all the people in Gaza, just wipe out the Palestinian and just make it Israel. So that there is just absolutely crazy and evil. But what I'm actually happy about recently, which I know kind of took time, but over 150 countries, they now recognize Palestine as a state. And what was a bit, well, not a shocker, but something that I was like, oh, okay. The last few days, the key members that actually recognize Palestine as a state here. So, Canada, the UK, France, and Australia, those are the key members that were also close allies of Israel. Now they're turning and saying, Palestine is a state. So now they're putting pressure on Israel. Israel now is isolated. Israel is lonely. It's just got America. And America obviously is the biggest donor to Israel, or Israel is the biggest donor to America, whichever. Because a lot of these Israelis, they've got too much money, and in America, blah, blah, blah. But this shift from the UK government, Canada, France, and Australia, this shifts things for Netanyahu, because now he's going to be feeling alone. He's going to be feeling lonely. Because now these friends of his,
they've switched on him.
They're saying, listen, mate, this is wrong. What you're doing here is wrong. This country, like Palestine, is now a state. We recognize Palestine as a state.
But here's what I don't get. Why are they saying now?
Why right so
now?
long?
After all the prices people have paid, people have died, all the news they've made, why didn't they then come together and do that when it was hot, when it was a big 100%. Massive thing?
When the United Nations even said that Israel is committing a genocide on Palestine.
But like you're saying, they want to gain something. As long as a country is gaining something from another country's loss, another country's problem, bravo, they're winning, right? But then as soon as this and that happens, switch sides. This is what I don't
because obviously these countries are also supplying Israel with the weapons, like, you know, UK, BAE or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
They were building these weapons to Israel. Even obviously America, we know that America is supplying a lot of their weapons to Israel. And I hope that now that these, because UK is the closest ally to America.
Yeah.
How is America going to feel now that UK, our closest ally, has now said, okay, Israel is doing something wrong, but this is our closest ally, what do we do?
Exactly. They're going to switch.
Trump doesn't really care about Gaza.
No.
He only cares about his friend Netanyahu and the Israelis.
Yeah.
But I just hope that he can also, or America, they can also recognize Palestine as a state.
Yeah.
And maybe put pressure on Netanyahu to stop these wars. And I feel like this is my thoughts, that don't come for me. I feel like Netanyahu, he doesn't want to stop this war, because once he stops this war, he's now a criminal. If the court of justice like say, okay, you committed crimes.
It's true.
And if he's committed, he knows like he's going to be locked up, or he's going to have to pay a price for it.
Yeah.
So what is he going to do? He's going to keep doing whatever he does for his country.
Yeah.
Because he's saying that there is a self-defense. But how is it a self-defense if I'm coming to your house to burn all your house and I'm calling it self-defense? You've not touched my house.
No.
But I'm saying it's self-defense.
You know, it's funny to me how, you see the way we're thinking, the way we're saying these things. Any human is capable of thinking the way we think.
100%.
You know, and it's like, why can't they just think like normal humans? You know, why can't they change their ways? We've seen what war does. We've seen the damages of war, but yet we still continue to repeat the same old mistakes that our ancestors and all that have came from it. You know, so it's like this world is not changing, and for those who hope for change, I don't think the change is coming.
No, anytime soon. And you know, with this Israeli-Palestine thing, for me, from my view, I don't see it as the Christians versus the Muslim, the Jews versus the Muslim, all these things. It's just absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
Killing people, innocent people, is absolutely wrong. If they've got a problem with Hamas, find them wherever they are, but like make sure when you find them, they're not in places where the civilians are.
Yeah.
Because you got a problem with the Hamas, not with the civilians, not with the innocent people.
Yeah.
So if you're just gonna be bombing this building, saying, "Oh, Hamas, we know Hamas is hiding there," but then what about the people that are not Hamas? The people that are just trying to live.
Yeah.
Now people are going for days without food. People are dying sick, and some of these food that's going over there, they don't even get to the people because it's just no way to get there.
Yeah, they cut the borders.
They cut the borders.
Yeah. Everything is gone. Everything.
So how are these people going to survive? How does he think these people are going to? He doesn't care about their survival.
Yeah.
He just wants them to get hungry until they're dead.
You know. And it's like, where can they go?
There's nowhere to go because there's no escape.
No. You know. And those who have managed to escape, they imagine they're coming from hardship. They're coming from war. But then when they get to a different country, they face backlash.
Like here, which is what we're going to talk about with this, what is it called? United Kingdom rally thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, these things are connected.
Yeah, everything is connected. Dots are just connecting. It's all about just looking.
Yeah.
And looking in.
So
it's
we're gonna keep exploring this topic as we go on. So obviously we were just covering the basics and talking about our thoughts, what we think from our perspective as individuals. So if you guys again got any things to say, feedback, you can add on this topic as well. As we keep going, and we're gonna be learning more about what's going on. We're gonna be doing more research. We're gonna be understanding a little bit more, and then as time goes on, we're also gonna be mixing the culture part, because culture and caves. But today we're just focusing on the caves side of the world, because this thing has been brewing up in our head to talk about it, because it's absolutely crazy what's actually happening. If you got anything to say before we end this part one?
I'll just kindly ask for whoever's viewing this to just, as you go to bed or you're getting up, if you're a person that prays a lot, just pray for those who can't pray for themselves, and pray for those who are suffering from war. For example, the topics we're just talking about now, Sudan, Gaza. Pray for those people. Pray for change. And that's it. That's all I can say, man.
All right. Before we end this episode, please don't forget to
like, subscribe, share.
Okay.
It would be very, very awesome of you guys to do that. It will help us a long way, because we are actually a growing channel. So we want to keep growing to the point where we actually reach our goal, our target. So
we grow as individuals as well, grow to be better people and understanding.
So every doing of that helps us a lot. It goes a long way. And we thank you very much, and may you stay blessed.
All right, we'll see you in part 2. Let's get it.
Danko.